Of the build-up to the local government elections. This is where we find my colleague Lutendo Bododi live for us there. Lutendo, very good morning to you. Still morning, 9 minutes to go. What's been happening where you are?
Good morning, Blaine. Morning, but it's hot now. 38 degrees Celsius here in Thohoyandou. Yes, the president is here. He arrived here around 9:30, quite on time. And I look at him, Blaine. I'm not an expert, but I look at him. He looks quite drained. You know, he looks quite exhausted. I think this campaign trail across the country, you know, has siphoned off a lot out of him. He's been crisscrossing the country. I think this week he's been almost everywhere. But he's here. He started off actually on time. He met with officials from the Vembe District Municipality, had a briefing. Unfortunately, the media were not allowed inside. And of course, when he left there, he went straight to a door-to-door campaign. He went to about 2 households, and you know, people are complaining about the same thing, especially water. Blaine, I come from here. I was born here. I'm not talking just as a reporter. I'm also talking as an insider. The main problem here is water. Where we are now, which is an ancestral home for Cyril Ramaphosa. His village is not far from here, I think about 10 kilometers. But just 10 kilometers to the east, there is one of the biggest dams in the country, the Nandoni Dam. But people here don't have water. Actually, they only have water once per week. This has been their prime concern as they discuss issues with the president, and he made some promises. You talked about substance earlier on, and is it just substance or is it just symbolism? Is there any substance in what he's saying? But the problem of water here has been you know, a problem for quite a long time. People here can build their own houses, Blaine. They can, you know, they can plow or you know, cultivate their own food. All they need is water, so they can of course grow their own food. But this is a high rainfall area. All they need is running water. But they can build houses for themselves. They can do a whole lot of things for themselves, but not, of course, they cannot supply water for themselves. Also, roads. There are no roads here. This is the Punda Maria Road that you see here. It's a government road. It's been here for a long time. You know, it was built a long time ago, and it leads to the Kruger National Park. But if you go right into the village, the streets, you know, they look horrible. They look horrid. You know, they're rocky, stony. It's thorny. People do want that. If you remember, Blaine, we brought you a story about people around this area building streets and roads for themselves. The president's going to meet with chiefs from those villages. I think he saw that on TV. He could only learn that from the SABC. We are the only people who brought that, and everybody took cue from us. He's going to meet with those people and try and talk about service delivery challenges in this province or in this particular area, Blaine.
Service delivery issues ubiquitous. South Africa has many challenges. We talk about the triple threat, isn't it? The unemployment issues, inequality, poverty, and it all comes to the fore, and so much more at a local government elections. The argument, Brother Bododi, is that of course the elections are extremely important. I can't, you know, overemphasize that enough. But it is what happens in between elections that matters, isn't it? It's about that, getting those things that you promised done. Confidence in those that they are about to elect. Are people excited about getting out there on November 1st and making their mark? What's your sense?
Yeah, you know, from what I read, people are ready to vote. This is the stronghold of the ANC. This region, Vembe, gave ANC 87% in the 2018 national elections. Now, this is the stronghold of the ANC, and you can see that people are still, upbeat about the ANC, voting the ANC. Although there are some people who are ready to listen to other people, like especially your EFF, your DA. They've been campaigning here, and you see people, gathering just to listen to what these parties are promising. But the ANC is expected to return many of the wards in this particular area. Yes, as you said, earlier we talked about substance. You said that what matters is the time between the elections, not now. We've seen a trend of government or government structures trying to take service delivery to people, especially around the time of elections. But what happens between the elections? That is the big question. In this area, you have potholes, there's no water, but every year there's been promises and promises. But despite that, you see people are still upbeat, people are still excited, they still want to go to vote. The president, when he was speaking to some people here, he talked about low turnout, especially in 2016 local government elections. He was gravely concerned about that. He wants that to change, Blaine.
Lewin Carsons, always a pleasure, value added, and no doubt a plus for the audience. Thank you very much indeed. He knows his province and raises a number of issues, is our brother Bododi there with regards to what's happening in Limpopo, and telling us about a story that they covered, possibly got to the ear and eye of the president of the ANC. He's there now. We will check in with our colleagues in that area in a short while. It's about command, isn't it? It's about the ability to do something. It is about a sense of urgency. Problems, solutions. Local government elections 2021. Lots more to cover. Going to check up with our colleagues in other provinces. Let's take a quick break. More news next.